All right, guys, so today what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at adding mixed numbers. So really quick, just a quick review. Remember, when we're adding or subtracting mixed numbers, in this case adding, as long as the bottoms are the same, we can just go ahead and add them. So that 1/5 plus 2/5 is 3/5. Now if I had something like 2/10 plus 1/5, in this case, I cannot add those because I see here I've got a 10 and over here I've got a 5. So I've got to find a way to make them the same. So what I do is, remember, just this should all be review, I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 2. And why am I multiplying this fraction right here by 2? It's because 5 times 2 is going to equal 10. So then I figure out, oh, well, that's going to become 2 over 10. And then this one right here is going to be plus 1 times 2 is 2, and then 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, boom. Since I did the same thing on top and bottom, now my bottoms are the same. And so 2 plus 2 is 4 over 10. And just because you know I want you to simplify, I make sure that I divide the top. Let me choose a better color. Divide the top and the bottom by the same number. And so what factor would go into both 10 and 4? And that's going to be 2. Since 10 and 4 are both divisible by 2, that's going to give me 2/5. So that would be my answer. But now we're going to go a little bit further into this. So let's look at adding mixed numbers. I'm actually going to skip this page. I don't really like this one so much. Here's what we really want to make sure is when you're adding mixed numbers that the first thing you do is just add the fraction. Then you're going to add the whole numbers, and then you put the answers in simplest form. And it's really as simple as that. So we're starting off right now with just ones where the denominators are the same. So we really don't have much to do it. So I'm going to start with adding the fractions. So since the bottoms are 11 and 11, I can keep that at 11, and then 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, so I'm done. Now I add the whole numbers. So that's step 1. Now I go to step 2. Step 2, add the whole numbers. 3 plus 2 is 5. Check, check. That's done. Now I got to put this in simplest form. So in this case, 5/11ths. I know since 11 is a prime number that is already in simplest form. So my answer is 5 and 5/11ths. We can do this again. I'm going to take a peek at this one. Ooh, I forgot a space right there. What if I had 8 and 1/12 plus 9 and 5/12? So I know my 12s are going to stay the same. So first thing I'm going to do, add the fraction. And so 12 plus 12 is 12. Well, there's not 12 plus 12 is 12. But since the denominators are both 12, I just bring down the 12. And then 5 and 1 are 6. Okay, step 2. Add the whole number. So here's my whole number. So we've got 8 and 9, that's going to equal 17. So now I've got 17 and 6/12. So far, so good. Now what's the last one? Write the sum in its simplest form. Now, in simplest form, I'm noticing that 6/12, well, they're both even numbers. So I know automatically, since they're both even, that they've got to have the factor of 2 in common. But in this case, I can tell pretty quickly that actually 6 goes into 6 1 time, and 6 goes into 12 2 times. So this becomes 17, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So the correct answer is going to be 17 and 1/2. All right, so now we can even get this a little bit further. I've made it down to multiple choice with you. What I'd like you guys to do is pause me right now and just give this a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and start solving this one. So try and see if you guys can beat me to the answer. Step 1, make sure that I add all my fractions. And since all of the bottoms are 7, I put that as a 7. And then 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6 over 7. Step 2, add the whole numbers. Six plus 2 plus 3. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. Step 3, simplify. Well, 11 and 6/7 is already in simplest form. Okay, and so since you guys probably have stopped pausing me at this point, you should have gotten A as your correct answer, 11 and 6/7. Now, I chose these answers intentionally because these are things that you may see on a test that might just try to trick you up. On this one, we can tell that what did they do? They actually added the 3 7s, and that's why they got the 21. So just be careful when you're choosing this. Okay, let's try this again. Once again, I'd like you guys to pause me for just a second. I want you to give this one a shot, and then we will go ahead and try this one. All right, step 1, you need to make sure that you add the fraction. So my fractions are 1/9, 4/9, 1/9. And so then I go, okay, well, I got a 9. Then I got 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6/9. Step 2. Add the whole numbers. 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay, step 3. Step 3 is to simplify. I can my factor for each one is 3. They're both divisible by 3. So then I know my final answer is 12. And then 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my final answer is 12 and 2/3. Another one where D is the correct answer. And on this one, you can tell that, yes, they made some whole number issues, but on this one, this is an equivalent fraction. This is not it in simplest form, and that will be a big difference. This is going to be the last one that we're going to try for today. This is actually kind of a sneak peek into what tomorrow's homework is, so there won't be any star problems, but let's see if you guys can get this one right. I'm actually going to skip this one. Look at this one right here. So on this one, it's the same general thing, but like what we were saying, we can't add those two fractions that are not the same. So we have to find what is a number that they both can be. So I look at this one, I go, okay, well 6, 12, 18, 24. And then I go over here and it's like 4, 8, 12. Oh, 12. There you go. So I know that I can make the denominators of both those 12. So as soon as I know what that is, I can go ahead and I can go, okay, well, that's 6 times 2 and 1 times 2. So 6 times 2 was 12. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then over here, I go, okay, well, this is 4 times 3 equals 12. So 3 times 3 is 9. Now I just bring down my whole numbers, and I've just got to add just like what we've been doing all along. So now it is, what's step 1? Well, in this case, now it's going to be step 3 because this was step 1 and step 2. So step 3, add the fractions. 2 twelfths plus 9 twelfths. 2 plus 9 is 11. And 12 and 12, those just stay the same. Step 2, we need to make sure we add those whole numbers. And that's 9 plus 2 is 11. So that's 11 and 11 twelfths. Now I look at this and I realize, oh, 11 is a prime number. So I know right now that that number cannot be simplified any further. But if it weren't prime numbers, I would just make sure that I cannot think of any factor that will divide evenly into both of them. All right, guys, so that's it for tonight's homework. There won't be any star problems tonight, but this is just kind of a sneak peek, so be ready to work tomorrow, and I will see you guys on Monday.